Hi again, it's another in my short series of videos in which I talk about my lenses. So we've covered general purpose lenses and an ultra wide and a moderate to long telephoto zoom. For really big performance venues or for wildlife that I can't get close to, I bring out this Sigma 150 to 500mm f5 to f6.3 monster. Again, it's an EF mount lens adapted via a Sigma MC11 adapter. Image stabilisation is pretty much a must at this kind of weight and focal length, and on this lens it works well, including for video on an FS5 or an FS7. Even on a tripod, at least any tripod I can afford or that I can carry, there can be a bit of vibration transmitted to the camera, especially when you pan or when you tilt. Without image stabilisation, this can be difficult to live with. With image stabilisation, the camera does eat through its batteries rather quicker, but the camera movements seem smoother, and small movements, due to the wind say, or Bailey moving around in the truck that the camera is attached to, are minimised. The lens does telescope when you zoom, but not when you focus. And the manual focusing is a kind of hybrid arrangement. There is a switch to change from auto to manual. And in autofocus mode, you can still turn the focus ring and it will alter the lens's focus. Sometimes it just needs a bit of help to initially find a subject, but then it can cope on its own. Mostly though, on the FS5 or FS7, adapted via a Sigma MC11, it's really not very good, and it will just helplessly hunt to and fro, but miss the subject altogether, especially in low light or when the contrast is poor. In manual focus mode, of course, you're just on your own. Because of the hybrid arrangement, the stops at the end of the focus movement aren't hard. You can turn the ring to the end of the focus travel and it keeps going, although the focus mechanism doesn't keep going with it. So if you're a bit heavy-handed, any indexes you've set on your follow focus could change. But with a bit of finesse, it's never really a problem. The focus throw is perhaps 120 degrees. So this lens was a bit of an investment, even though I did buy it second hand. The problem was really that although there are hundreds of reviews reporting the lens's performance on stills cameras or on Sony mirrorless cameras, no one could tell me whether it would work nicely, adapted, on my FS5 or FS7. I'd previously tried my Nikon 200 to 500mm on the FS5 and found that while it works, the only adapters available provide only a mechanical coupling with no electronics. I also tried a borrowed Tamron long telezoom on the MC11. The autofocus and the image stabilisation worked, but there was no aperture control, so I could only shoot wide open. So, having parted with my cash for this lens, I was very pleased to find that with a Metabones adapter or the MC11, everything works. The camera can control the lens's aperture and power its image stabilisation. And it can autofocus, badly and slowly, but at least it'll try. And the lens can report its zoom setting, its focus distance and its aperture back to the camera. So it's not quite a perfect partnership, but it works and it allows me to get shots like these. I'd quite like to upgrade to Sony's 200 to 600, but again the only reviews I can find are reporting on its performance on mirrorless bodies. Have you used it on an FS7 and what was it like? I want to know!